incredibly excited to be celebrating our 10th year anniversary serving Washington, D.C. youth. GKDC started in 2010. We started with two schools, Columbia Heights Educational Campus and Friendship Collegiate Academy, where we served 40 students. And 10 years later, we are at 11 different schools. Global Kids DC is the only organization that is providing global education to young people and focusing on youth development, career advising, civic engagement, and youth leadership here in the district.
My first experience with Global Kids was through the Summer Youth Employment Program, and never before had I been in rooms with adults that weren't my parents that wanted to hear about what I thought about social justice and international affairs and local politics. It was just crazy to me.
It's allowed me to express myself in a way that I never could before. It's allowed me to gain confidence and realize that the voice of the youth does matter.
They have learned and engaged in issues that are critical to the global discussion. We have talked about poverty, about gender biases, about education equality, and many, many more issues that young people have now aspired to become global change makers.
It's also allowed me to learn more about global issues and become more aware of what's happening around me, and also making me feel like I can make an impact in these issues.
They would bring in other adults, people from the United Nations, people working in education, people in all kinds of different fields. They would bring them in and have them listen to us, and it was incredible. It was amazing that accomplished adults, professional adults wanted to listen to what I had to say as a 15-year-old in DC.
The counselors and the students, just like everyone, not even students, scholars, because everyone there is so brilliant and so open-minded and so well-spoken, and I think that's one of the best parts about Global Kids. It's truly amazing.
We have also traveled internationally where young people have exchanged ideas about education, about foreign policy, about being teenagers in different parts of the world.
We have taken the students to Brazil, to Haiti, to Costa Rica,
South Africa, most recently Colombia.
to look at foreign policy issues from both the US angle but also from other countries' perspectives.
I went to Colombia, I went to Bogota and Cartagena, and I loved the trip. It was amazing. It was such an eye-opener, and we actually got to do a direct action. We got to advocate, and we got to meet students my age who are in high school and even younger, and to learn about their problems. So it was amazing.
I've stayed in touch with a lot of the students that we worked with over the past 10 years as they've grown into full-fledged adults and launched their own careers. I've seen them go on to work on presidential campaigns, to study abroad in college, to take on other professional opportunities that really show the impact that Global Kids had on their life in terms of planting that seed to be active and engaged global citizens.
And that's why Global Kids is so important for the DC community.
You would think in a city like Washington, D.C., which is basically the most powerful city in the world in terms of determining the U.S.'s role in foreign affairs, that it would be a given that kids who grow up there are exposed to international opportunities, foreign policy issues, and global careers. But that's simply not the case for a lot of students.
No one's really going out into, these communities where people actually live year round to talk to the kids and figure out what they want to hear and what they want to say and what they feel.
The students have organized as young local leaders. They have done school walkouts in protest of education inequality. They have graduated successfully and have gone on to college. Many of them are first, second year college students now, and they have even returned as interns to Global Kids DC for our summer program.
It really takes people or an organization to be intentional about making those links, and that's exactly what Global Kids does, ensuring that kids from all parts of DC are exposed to America's role in the world and really find a way that they can play an active part in shaping that discussion and being global citizens.
And I think it's good work that Global Kids is doing to go into these communities and show these kids that people are listening and that they care and that they can use their voices for change.
It's a good way for you to be involved in the community and learn more and be able to experience things from around the world just by being in DC.
Over the past 10 years, Global Kids has reached and served nearly 4,000 young people, families, community members, teachers, schools. We are really, really, really proud of the work that we have done. I also want to thank two really incredible sources of support for us, our Young Professionals Committee, as well as our Advisory Council, who have helped us grow tremendously, and many, many, many other funders here in Global Kids DC.
Here's to Global Kids. Cheers to its 10th year operating in DC. It's really been a phenomenal experience to be part of it.